everyone, welcome to my art room, where today I'm going to be showing you how to make a reed boat like they still use in many parts of the world today, from South America to East Asia to Africa. And we're going to be using the Ethiopian model today, and we're going to do it first in miniature so I can show you the same way that you would apply to make one for yourself. You can either turn it into a canoe, a kayak, or you can even make yourself a stand-up paddleboard. So we're going to start. All you need is a few simple ingredients, as I have here, and we'll start with a little bit of grass. You can use any kind of grass that you might have outside, just a handful of grass like this, okay? And as long as you want. We're going to make a tiny miniature version first, and these are kind of special to me because in Egyptian tombs they find a miniature small boat in every with every mummy in Egypt, and it was very important to have a small scale boat in your tomb with you because that's how you would get passage to the afterlife. So it's just got a lot of cool history, and I'll have a link for if you want to learn a little bit more about it. So you're going to take your little handful of grass and you're going to tie it up into 4 separate bundles right in the middle like this. It's okay if the ends are hanging out. Right in the middle, okay? And now we're going to take those 4 little bundles and we're going to tie them up at the top, right about here. Okay, so a couple inches from the top. That looks great. Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of string here. Oops, I didn't have my string ready. Oh, okay, here it is. Here's my string. And I'm going to tie it right at the top, and you want to get a really nice tight knot every time. I'm going to tie it around a couple times to make sure it doesn't come off. And I'm going to tie it really quick, really tight. Pinch my fingers in there, do a double knot. Okay. And I'm going to cut the string ends off so that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we have it tied at the top. We have 4 little bundles sticking out. Now we're going to do a back stitch. Starting at the top, we're going to go all the way down to a back stitch. And a back stitch is when you loop around 2 and then go back through the middle, then go loop around the next 2, okay? And it's something you use all the time in sewing. So I'm going to tie a piece of string a couple inches down from that one on one of them, an outside piece like this. Do a double knot. Okay. And I'm going to go around these 2, first 2, whoop, and around, and then back through the middle of those 2, just like that. Okay. And I'm going to do that all the way across. So now the next 2, between the 2, through, around, and through the middle, just like that. It's okay if there's a little space between them, it's still going to float beautifully around the last 2, and oops, around the last 2 and back through the middle. Just like that. And now I can tie that off, and I'm going to do that about an inch down, 2 inches down, all the way down the boat, so that they are all the bundles are held together flat like this. Okay, so I'll pause the video and I'll show you when I get down to the end. Okay. Okay, I've now gone all the way down the length of my boat with my strings, looping each one. So it's all nice and tightly bundled together. And now for the last one, I'm going to do it one more time and kind of curve the outside 2 up a little bit like that. And the final string, I'm going to tie that off. So if you wanted to create a stand-up paddleboard for yourself, you could leave it flat. After you finish, I'll just finish tying this first, and I'll show you. Kind of needs 2 hands and a little concentration, because the last one you really want to get as tight as you can. And if you have a friend who can put their finger in your knot, that helps. And do again a double knot, everything in double knots here. Tie as tight as you can. Didn't quite get that too tight, so I'm going to try it one more time. Tie it really tight with the double knot. like that. Okay. All right, so everything's in double knot, so I'm safe trimming off my string now. And I've just used a darker color so that you can see it easier, but it looks really nice when you use a strong twine or a hemp like this. And for my large version, for my full-size version for myself, I'm going to use rope, of course, big rope twine. And so now, if you want to have a stand-up paddle board for yourself, you can leave it like this and build yourself a little paddle or use one that you already have. Okay, so this is going to be the front end. Uh-oh, I'm backwards. This is your front end, the pointy side, okay? And you can see that now that they're all bundled together, I'm safe kind of curling it up a bit like this. And if some of them break, it's not going to be a problem, but I can kind of bend it. My grass is really dry. If I had used a fresher cut grass, I would have had a little easier time bending it. But if yours is really dry like me, like mine is here, you can take it, soak it in water for 2 hours. And then once it's really saturated and it's been soaking in hot water is always good for this, you can really shape it even better by taking another longer string at one end at the bow and kind of bend it upwards, kind of curl it. If it breaks a little bit, that's all right. This is my back end. Now in Ethiopia, it looks to me from there that the back end is usually pretty flat, and that's fine. You just always want to have the front end curled up a little bit if you're making it a canoe or a kayak. So, right, something that you can sit down in easier. And I'm going to tie this once it was, say I had this soaking, I'm going to tie a good knot here and let it dry in this shape that I want. Okay. Once it's all dry, I can cut this string off, of course. If I wanted it to be a fabulous little fairy for people, I could leave the string on. That way they have something to hold on to. But now I'll just cut this off. And now you want to have a nice, clean end. So if you have really flexible grass, you can turn this into a curl, make some kind of like fancy little shape, a little dragon head if you want to design something fancy. But I'm just going to trim mine nice and neat like this. So it looks very beautiful. I can cut off my scraggles here. Okay, and now there's one part left to do now that we have our shape, and that is put in a seat. You can put in, usually you'd want to put in one seat at the back and one at the front, and that is going to keep it open in the middle. And it's also going to help provide stability, and if this was full size, then you have somewhere to sit. So the way to do your seat is you're going to take another bundle of grass and just do a shorter tie, not that, and cut that to the width of your boat. So my boat's about this wide. Let's see here. The width of the inside so that it's going to fit right in between and just cover the two bottom bundles. So mine's pretty narrow. So my bundle is going to be about 1.5 inches long. And I'm going to fit that into the middle, right in between there. And that is going to keep it open, keep it from collapsing, and help curl up the sides a little more like that. So just like that, tucked right in there. Once this was all dry, I could cut this string off and you have a beautiful shaped little bundle boat here. And that's it, okay? So stay tuned for the full size one. And the kids this morning did some really, really cool ones, and everyone's was really different, turned out really different. So, and some of them made a little sail. You can do a little sail if you want to try that out. I've done a sail on my Viking boat from cardboard here, just right in the center. So, and this will float beautifully on a pond or in the bathtub, and I can try that out first, and then I'm on to building a full-size one for myself from longer reeds. Okay, so thanks so much for joining today.